should be at least a 2-star admiral by now. Yet here you are. Captain. Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. Well, some have waited years, nay, decades for this moment, but can Tom Cruise deliver once again? Jump on board and be my wingman for my review of Top Gun Maverick. Pete Maverick Mitchell is still the daring and dangerous pilot he was back in the 80s, pushing the planes he flies to obscene levels with almost no regard for his own life. However, he is requested to return to Top Gun, the military's elite flying school, to train a new batch of pilots in preparation for an almost impossible mission. The original Top Gun is a classic for so many reasons. It's infinitely quotable, the soundtrack is the definition of badass, and the action has you on the edge of your seat. But if we're being honest with ourselves, the story is a little thin, and the romance angle between Cruise and McGillis's character, it bores me to tears. But regardless of its issues, Top Gun is a cultural icon, and talks of a sequel have been in the stratosphere for almost 36 years now. And I'm pleased to say that not only did Tom Cruise and director Joseph Kosinski deliver on the expectations, they blasted through them at supersonic speed. Top Gun Maverick is superior to the 1986 original in pretty much every conceivable way. It opens with near enough a shot-for-shot remake of Top Gun's iconic opening. You've got the Top Gun anthem. Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone is blaring out as planes and fighter jets are leaving and landing on an aircraft carrier. And in that moment, it's like Cruise and Kosinski are basically just staring down the camera to anyone that was concerned that this sequel might not capture the same magic that the first one did. And they're like, it's okay. We've got this. And from that moment on, this film moves at a rate of knots. It is paced to perfection. There is no downtime in this. And I think it's about 2 hours and 15. And it never skips a beat. I think Cruise gives perhaps one of his best performances in years. You can tell how much this character means to him and how he only wanted to come back if there was a story worth telling and if there was a way of telling said story to warrant its existence. He clearly found it very easy to get back into the role that helped define his career as a movie star, but the hot-headedness of Maverick, while still there, isn't as prominent and instead is replaced by the long-term grief that he is still suffering following the death of Goose. That grief is then put to the test as Miles Teller plays Rooster, Goose's son. He's one of the prospective pilots and seemingly at loggerheads with Maverick. Teller is great as always, as is the rest of the ensemble when you've got the likes of Jennifer Connelly, John Hamm and Glen Powell. But let's just talk about why Top Gun Maverick is the must-see blockbuster of the summer. And it's because of those unbelievable aerial flying sequences. Other than maybe a few small instances where CGI has to be required, the planes that you see, it's real. It's all practical. The actors are in the cockpit as the planes duck, dodge, spin, spiral, weave, blast off at just the most ridiculous speeds. Now, I know that most of the ensemble didn't really have much control over the planes. They were in like the second pilot's seat, whilst an actual fighter pilot was in charge. But I believe Tom Cruise did a fair bit of his own flying, whether or not it was all his own flying. I think there are some things that not even Tom Cruise can quite pull off. But having the actors in that cockpit and knowing that they're there as the plane is flying, this movie's sense of immersivity is unlike anything I've seen from an action film, anything I've seen in recent filmmaking. It is unbelievable. A film such as this is why a stunt choreography award needs to be added to the Academy Awards. I'm getting really fed up of stunt work being overlooked by the Academy. And hats off to Joseph Kosinski for having the balls to direct such an ambitious blockbuster and really sticking the landing. I can't even imagine the difficulty of trying to maintain control over all of these different moving parts, especially when you're God knows how many feet in the air, and yet he manages it with such ease and control. However, Top Gun Maverick is a saucy little devil, because the first 2 acts of the film are really entertaining. They are the epitome of why you go to the movies. They're fantastic. And then the 3rd act arrives, and I'm pretty sure I'm not overstating the fact when I say that the 3rd act of Top Gun Maverick might be one of the greatest 3rd acts I have ever seen in any movie. The tension is cranked to the extreme. Again, that immersivity, I've never felt anything quite like this cinematic thrill. It keeps climbing and reaching new heights, new obstacles stand in our characters' way, and so they are continually having to find a way over them, and just when you think that they have reached the end of their mission, something new comes along. It has so many levels to it, it needs to be seen to be believed. It's honestly breathtaking when you combine all of that, and you've got impeccable sound design, a fantastic score from the GOAT Hans Zimmer. Everything just fits together so perfectly to make this an unbeatable summer blockbuster. Tom Cruise wasn't lying when he said that this was a love letter to aviation, but what he didn't say is that it's also pushing the boundaries and raising the game for all action films here on out. To quote Berlin, Top Gun Maverick took my breath away. It had all the fun of the 80s original, but this time with a much tighter and emotionally driven story, and action sequences that need to be seen on the biggest screen possible to truly appreciate the work from the cast and crew. I think fans of the original will be overjoyed, and even those who weren't fond of the first film, this one should most definitely win you over. So, I'm going to give Top Gun Maverick, it's very close, can't quite get it to full marks, so it gets a 9.5 out of 10. But those were my thoughts on Top Gun Maverick. Let me know, have you had the chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Now my question to you, I want to know, what is your favourite Tom Cruise movie? I've got to go with 2 choices that don't normally get brought up in the conversation. The first is Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. I think it is a criminally underrated film. I do not know why that film does not get talked about more often. And also, it's his most recent outing as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible Fallout. I think it is a perfect action film, and I can't wait to see what Christopher McQuarrie and Cruise have in store next year for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. But that is all we have time for today, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.